Learning how to increase the revenue on your bookings is going to be a game changer for your event planning business. Today, I'm going to give you some tips and strategies on ways to increase the revenue in your event business. This is going to be perfect for event planners, caterers, DJs, balloon artists, any type of professional that is in an event business. But believe me, as always, I like to give tips for service-based businesses in general, so you may be able to get a tip out of this that can help you with your business. For those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Jessie. I am a certified HoneyBook Pro and certified business consultant. I am passionate about helping small businesses with being able to optimize their booking system so they're able to increase their revenue and reduce the stress so that they can focus on the things that matter in their business. So today I am looking forward to talking about this topic about making money and increasing your revenue in your business. That was one of the hardest lessons that I had to grow and learn about running my event business that I started almost 13 years ago. So I have had a lot of experience on what works and what does not work, and I want to help you today. In the beginning, I used to get so excited about, oh, you just got paid for this event, you got paid for that event. And because I was seeing large amounts of money coming into my account, one, I wasn't present to what my expenses were really costing me, so what my company was really making. I wasn't aware of opportunities that I could increase my bookings. And then the most important thing was that I wasn't always being present to the true profit that my company was making. So it's important for you when you're looking to increase your revenue to understand what my numbers are so that you are able to hit your goals. And most importantly, you want to know what is your true capacity. In the past, I would do this quantity chasing numbers game, which at the end of the day, it made me burn out. It made me not like doing what I did as much. We were making a lot of money, but what was happening was that I wasn't always getting the profit in which I wanted because there was a lot of money coming into the company. So I want to help you with avoiding those pitfalls that I made and use these tips to helping you grow. So the first tip that I want to give you when you're looking to increase the revenue in your bookings is to understand your target audience. Because if you are just adding things that your audience does not want, what your client does not want or find value with, what will happen is that you'll have a slew of different offerings that are not being used, that's just jamming up your actual booking system and offerings, which isn't going to produce you a result. So we often hear about understanding your target audience because that is key. So for example, when I first started my company and we were doing cooking classes as one of the offerings that we did for our corporate clients, I was in Texas trying to promote cooking classes that were very popular up north, like vegetarian cooking classes and more healthier options. Of course, in DC, they were super popular, but down south, the people were like, why would we want to teach our residents how to do vegetarian chili? And so it made sense to me that, yeah, this might be a great idea, but who I'm pitching it to and the area in which I'm pitching it to, trying to offer the service to is not going to connect. So look at what are you really offering your clients? Is this going to be something that they really want? And if it isn't, what can I add into my client offering to help them? So for example, if you're someone that is in the wedding industry and you are, let's say, a wedding photographer, you may have just a basic package, but what about if you also offered the actual engagement photo images? Or if there was an add-on that you can do when it comes to the portfolio or editing more videos, or it might be a specific type of photo album or something of that nature that's going to be helpful for your client, because that's what they want to take advantage of when you're getting married. You want to do your engagement photos, and then depending on the kind of family it is, they want to have this really nice photo album and things of that nature. Or you might want to even offer Zoom services so that when people have family members that are not close by, that they can also see the wedding as if that they're there. But Now, if you offered something and you are doing, let's say, destination weddings, what someone might need for destination weddings is going to probably be a little bit different than someone that's doing traditional cathedral style weddings. So again, you want to understand, who am I marketing to, what type of service, what services that they like, so that you're curating an experience that they're wanting to pay for. Another way to increase the revenue in your business is to diversify your streams of income. One thing that we've learned over the last couple of years is that you don't want to rely on only one type of service. This is still very true, and if you haven't learned that lesson, it's time to learn that lesson. When everything shut down and my business solely depended on in-person events, that was an eye-opening experience for me to understand that, yes, we were diversified in different areas, but we still only offered one service. So what I do recommend you to do is to think about what other options that I can offer for my client base. So what we decided to do was to offer consulting services as well as a product, so that we have 3 different ways that people can work with us and be able to increase our revenue, and then not overextend ourselves when it comes to capacity. Because I don't want it to be that I'm working or creating a business that I have to work 50, 60 hours a week just to make money. No one wants to do that. We have to think about how to work smarter, not harder. So you want to diversify your revenue streams within your business. The way that you're going to go about doing that is to ask your previous clients, what are some other things that they would love to be able to see from you? I would do this with a small group of people, because if you ask everyone, if you have a large client base, you probably are going to get a wide variety of things that may overwhelm you. So you have to know yourself in this regards. But what you can do is ask them, hey, I am thinking about offering some other things through my business. What are some other services that you think will be great to see X, Y, and Z company to offer? One of the things I know I've seen some of my clients and friends do that are mixologists. Instead of them relying solely on bar services, they have started to diversify, offering coffee services too. So for corporations that are wanting to do cafe type pop-ups, that's another type of service that they offer. Another thing is that you can do is to offer classes, or I've seen where people will offer kits for their guests and things like that. So you have to sit here and think to yourself, what are some things that I can offer to diversify my income stream, so I'm not only relying on my service to help with my business growing. Next tip that I want to give you is something that all of my HoneyBook service clients, I always talk to them about. And if you are using HoneyBook or you're not quite familiar with HoneyBook, I do have a link so that you can get a discount on using HoneyBook. But if you're needing help with your HoneyBook services, I do offer different packages to help you with cleaning up or actually creating automations into your business. But one of the things I always talk to my HoneyBook clients about is the importance of using proposals as a way to upsell in your business. When you have proposals where you have a section that's listing the main items that your client actually reached out to you to serve them by doing, I like to also have an additional services section that is also on that proposal, so that your client has the ability to see all that is possible and then select the items in which they really want to really want to include in their event. For example, with me, if someone reaches out and they're saying, hey, Jessie, I want to do a pool party for my community. Can you send us some catering options? I will give them a few catering menus to select, because we have standard menus within my company. Then in my additional items, what we then will list are DJs, bartenders, balloons, dessert stations. We'll give them additional items that they can decide if they choose, face painters, and then what they'll do is select whatever else they may be interested in. So instead of me just getting paid to hire a caterer, we're making money by hiring other vendors that can do services, because nothing will suck more than you actually going to an event that someone hired you for, and then they have someone else there to do a service that you can do, but because they didn't know you did that service, you missed out. And it's no one's fault but your fault. Because the thing about it is that when we don't give our clients clarity on what we do, they will go and find that option from someone else. So even if you are a service-based business that is not in the event space, think to yourself, what are some additional services that I can add on my proposals so that I am diversifying what is available for people to do. It can be retainers, it can be classes, it can be some type of additional printouts or support. Whatever you choose to do within your business, you do want to make sure that in your proposals, it clearly lists those things. Because when you're on a call with your clients, a lot of times all they're doing is hearing you talk, but they aren't able to always process all that you're saying. And when you design a proposal that lists it and they can see how much this is going to cost them, you'll be surprised that they may have told you that their budget was this, but just to add on a bartender is only going to cost them an extra $150, $200, whatever it is. They may say, instead of me relying on my cousin who is not reliable to try to make drinks for us, it's going to be more effective for me to just hire a bartender to serve the liquor that we're providing. So again, you want to make sure that you're using your proposals to optimize the opportunity to increase your revenue. Whenever I've had this conversation with any of my clients, they have tested this out and they're like, Jessie, I can't believe this. Like I had my first client that booked all of my, I've gotten my best bookings from this. That was from a DJ that I worked with. I also had someone as a private chef that said the exact same thing, because we're thinking that when we're in the consultation that they're hearing all that we can do, or the infamous, because I put on my contact form and they said their budget's this, I'm just going to send them what their budget is. Sometimes people are just making up numbers because they are thinking that that's the best number, not because that's what they can afford. So always use your proposals to upsell, to increase your revenue. The next tip is that once you start to look at your target audience, what they're needing, you decide on what types of services that you can add, then you start to really utilize your proposals to optimize what people can book from you. What I do recommend for you to do is to start to analyze what people are purchasing so that you can understand what people are wanting. This is going to be a continuous process for you, because once you take the time to see what are people needing, how can I offer this on a consistent basis? Does this make sense to outsource it? Because I'm going to say this, please don't feel like you have to do everything in your business. This is when it's going to be important for you to think about, do I hire someone else that is great at balloons, or do I now do balloons while I do event planning? Then I know how to cook, so I'm going to also cater. Like, that sounds horrible. If you know me, I say if it doesn't, if I can't track it, I'm not doing it. If it's not efficient, I'm not doing it, because you don't want it to be that you're burning yourself out because you're not aligning yourself with individuals that can help you with your business growing. Think to yourself, how can I offer services within my business that don't rely only on me doing that service? It may be through collaboration. What I would then recommend you do is to take the time to see how those relationships are working, seeing if people are actually booking that service, because there's always going to be something you can learn and review. You want to review your books, you want to review your business at minimum every quarter. Because if you wait to do that annually and you're not doing a great job of actually monitoring this stuff on a day-to-day, you're not going to remember the grand scheme of what's been going on in your business on an annual basis. You want to do this more frequently so that you're able to make adjustments in your business, so that you're able to know what's working, so that you can double down on it, so that you're ultimately able to increase your revenue. The important thing about increasing your revenue, it comes down to really being clear about the services in which you're offering, aligning yourself with others that can help you with broadening your service bank, and then you want to really make sure your clients understand what types of services you offer, because your proposals are going to be that golden piece in your business, so that people are able to have a broad understanding of what you do, because you will be surprised that a lot of your clients really don't know all that you can do. They only know that one thing that they reached out to you about, or that one thing that you talk about all the time. So it's important to make sure that you're having your system optimized so that your brochures are clearly stating what you do. You want to make sure your proposals you're sending out to your client are clearly stating what are some great things that you can add on to that service. And then you want to keep track of that information to see what people are really purchasing or hiring you to do. I hope that these tips have been helpful for you when it comes to ways that you can increase your revenue within your business. All of these tips have really shifted my business, but most importantly, a lot of my clients that have worked with me on their own strategies have seen great results, because often people make assumptions, and nothing sucks more than you going to a booking and finding out someone else was hired to do a service that you could have done only because they did not know that you can do that for them. So I look forward to hearing your feedback below. Comment and let me know what are some things that you are offering within your business so that we can start up a conversation about how to increase revenue in your business. That's it for now. Peace.